The ICC World Cup might be the one thing that all cricket fans in India are looking forward to more than any other event, given, of course, it is taking place in India this year. But the caravan that is Indian cricket never really stops rolling. And proof of that can be found in the fact that when the BCCI announced just a few minutes back or a little while ago, the home schedule for India in the the remainder of matches that they'll be playing at home in this particular season, well, it did actually lead to some pretty interesting revelations, some of which were known, others of which, of course, confirmation of some things which were supposed to be happening, didn't really happen. But one thing is certain, it is in fact a chock-o-block home schedule that has been released, and does of course feature a switch in focus, because you'd remember that right after the ODI World Cup there will be a switch in the focus, because the next year is the T20I World Cup, and it'll be happening in the middle of the year right after the IPL. So not really that much time or turnover as far as formats are concerned, and so makes the T20s which you will be playing all the more important, especially post the World Cup. So let's quickly just go over what all are the matches that will be held at home, or the matches that India will be playing at home. It starts off with, of course, a very key series that India will be playing at home just before the ODI World Cup, a 3 ODI series, the first of which will be taking place, and remember it's against Australia, on 22nd of September. The first ODI will be taking place in Mohali, the second ODI just 2 days later, 24th September, taking place in Indore, and the third and final taking place on 27th September at Rajkot. All three of these games starting at 1:30, which means, of course, it is a day-night match. It gives plenty of time, not just for fans watching in the stadium, but also broadcasters and fans who will be watching it at home. So this is, of course, India's last series before the ODI World Cup, and incidentally also India's first series after the World Cup, but this time in a totally different format, because India will be taking on Australia at home in 5 T20Is. The first of those will be taking place on 23rd November, and it will be taking place in Vizag. The second, 3 days later, on 26th November at Trivandrum. Thereafter, just a day's gap, 28th November, is the third T20I at Guwahati. And the fourth will be taking place on 1st December at Nagpur. Interesting venue there too. And of course, Sunday thereafter, 3rd December, will be the fifth and final T20I taking place in Hyderabad. Now, after this series, you'd remember India will be, of course, building up to a full tour of South Africa. There'll be a T20I series, an ODI series, and of course, a 2 test match series as well, which will count towards the World Test Championship. But once India get back from that full tour of South Africa, there will be some matches waiting for them there as well, because Afghanistan will be touring India for a 3-match T20I series. The first of those, 11 January 2024, mark your calendars, will be taking place at Mohali. The second, 3 days later, on 14 January, will take place in Indore. And the third, again with a gap of 3 days, 17th January, will be taking place in Bangalore. So that is, of course, the penultimate home series that India will be playing in this particular season. And the last of them, well, that one is an absolute doozy. England will be coming to India for a 5-test series. You heard that right. The Bazball era of England, probably one of the more exciting test teams to watch right now, coming to India for 5 tests, the first of which will be taking place at Hyderabad. So 25th January to 29th January is when the first test is scheduled to take place at Hyderabad. The second test will take place from 2nd Feb to 6th Feb and will be taking place at Vizag. Third one is taking place from 15th to 19th February at Rajkot. Thereafter, from 23rd to 27th is the fourth, which will be taking place in Ranchi. And the last one will be taking place from 7th to 11th March at Dharamshala. Now, of course, Dharamshala, you'd remember, missed out on a test match during the Australia series because of issues with the ground being relayed. This time around, they would, of course, hope that they can, host the test. And this will, of course, be a 5th test. So, could potentially be a series decider. And considering the fact that 11th March is when the last test is set to conclude, you have an idea as to when exactly it is the IPL will begin, and potentially when it is that you can expect the T20 World Cup to be held as well. But as I said, that's a packed schedule, and it means plenty of cricket to watch, especially Indian cricket for all the cricket fanatics out there. So it's an exciting series. I, for one, am very pumped to have getting to cover and watch all of these matches. What do you guys think about this schedule? You can let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Don't forget to download the AajTak app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead and check out some other videos that we've done. But for now, from my side, it's goodbye.